सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Om. Pranams to the lotus feet of the Lord, pranams to all the Mahatmas and Gurujis, pranams to all of you. My name is Ravi. I am based in Singapore for the last 20 plus years. My spiritual journey started when I met Swami Chinmayananda during my college days in Chennai. I used to attend his Gita Jnana Yajna every January for 4 years and also attend the student sessions in the morning. So that is the seed for my spiritual beginning. Then after roaming around various cities and getting married with children, everything, the spiritual journey was in dormancy for some time. And then it got resurrected when I met Swami Omkarananda in Singapore in 2005. That is the first time he was coming to Singapore when I was here regularly. And I had the opportunity to have a one-on-one discussion with Swami Omkarananda one of the days. I told him I want to further study Vedas because in my school days, after the Upanayanam, I had the opportunity of learning a small part of Vedas, which my mother insisted that I should have. And when I met Swami Omkarananda, I told him I am very keen to further pursue Krishna Yajurveda. I want to learn Samhita, Shaka, yesterday, etc. And I was about 40 plus at that time. And he told me, you keep all those things aside, better you start study Bhagavad Gita properly. Then I started going through Bhagavad Gita. In fact, I got his entire Bhagavad Gita series audios and started listening myself for the next few years. Even though I could understand bits and pieces of everything, I could not get the whole picture. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Then I was looking for a proper person who can make sure that I understand properly. As the Shastra says, you require a guru. Then I got a couple of other gurus which came into my life. Swami Paramarthananda and Sri Shantaram Bhandarkarji. And I started attending a formal Gita class, started taking some lectures there and studying more seriously. That helped me to understand the entire roadmap of Vedanta to some extent. From there, the last 10 years have been taking classes or sharing whatever a little bit I know and with some of the people which have been going on regularly with the grace of the Lord and all the gurus which have been doing it. And as part of the transformational journey, I was pondering over how we should make the progress and how to measure the progress of our spiritual journey or Vedantic studies. My Gurunatha Sri Paramarthananda always says there is something called FIR, frequency of agitation, intensity of agitation, and recovery time by which you are able to come back to normalcy. He used to give me as the indicator, and which is extremely useful and powerful. Then I pondered over further and started analyzing my own pluses and weaknesses and understood that one of the important things where I have the craving or I have the weakness is the food, which I eat, I enjoy. Of course, I'm a pure vegetarian and I ended up putting on a lot of weight. And that was a shame on my part. On the one hand, we say we need to take care of our health. And on the other hand, I was quite obese. And I was ashamed myself. Especially when I read the chapter 3, when Arjuna asks a question, why people are making mistakes knowingly. Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha. Anichannapi varshneya bhaladiva niyojitaha. And Krishna answers, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Maha ashanaha. Maha Papma Vidyena Miha Vairinam. It is a Kama and Krodha. So I was pondering over it for quite a few years. And fortunately for me, Krishna sent me one health guru called Mr. Lalit Kapoor 1 year ago. And through that, I could make some substantial improvement in my physical health. So today, the talk is going to be connecting the spiritual pursuit or Vedantic study and the physical health. I'm going to put it in 4 buckets. The first part of the talk is going to be on the goal of the human life. The second one is the qualifications required to achieve the goal and the means to, or the path or the roadmap to achieve the goal. The third one is the physical health connected to the qualifications. And the fourth one is how can we improve the physical health. These are the 4 topics I am going to cover today. So our Shastra very clearly says the goal of every human being is supposed to study the scriptures and understand oneself. As everybody asks, who am I? To Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi. And people always ask. But people do not know the answer. People cannot understand what Ramana says. So the very goal of the life is supposed to understand one's true nature, which is nothing but the Atma. In modern English, they call it as a soul. Atma means Atma, otherwise called consciousness. To understand, I am not this body-mind complex, I am the Atma. Atma, which is everlasting, which has never got birth or death and is imperishable, whereas the body may come and go. Atma, you are. You are not this body-mind complex. To understand, this is called the goal of life. And this is by understanding this, what happens is, because I am never born, I am never dying, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. So I am always eternal. This body mind is only an instrument. Thereby I have got mental relaxation and mental equilibrium, and I have got the mental independence. Thereby I am having a relaxed, enjoying life, which is called Jivan Mukti. So every human being, at least every Hindu, is supposed to study at least the basic text of Bhagavad Gita practically understand I am not the body-mind complex, I am the Atma. This goal can be achieved only by study. Only by study you can gain the knowledge. Only by knowledge you will have the cognitive understanding. I am not this body-mind, I am the Atma. Now, how to go about this study? What is the roadmap? Where am I? Typically, when we are all born, even though we are born in our religious environment and we are all very pious and we have got a fairly good culture and religious parents who take us to temples, we do some puja at home. But beyond that, we do not know really who is God. And we ask the father or mother, you say God is all pervading, why are you doing this puja? He is everywhere. Then the parents cannot answer the question. This is how we start with. And then the parents say, shut up, don't ask the question. Then we also keep quiet. And we do not know. And in the recent time, many youngsters are becoming agnostic because they do not get the answer. And some of us, like the old timers, we believe the parents are saying something, let us listen, keep quiet. But over a period, we try to figure out what am I supposed to do. So we are very ignorant, except the fact we know there is somebody called God. He is somewhere in cloud and who is somewhere having a lot of powers, who is managing everything. And he is also, there are a lot of temples built. We go to Shiva temple or a Devi temple or a Perumal temple and go religiously do some namaskaras. And there are various navagrahas who are also troubling me once in a while. I ought to appease them and then ask for whatever material things I want, whatever the problems I have got, I suffer. I try to appease God and try to take it. And sometimes it clicks and I am very happy. So which is called a commercial bhakti or artha bhakti, which is good. Bhagavan says in Gita, Sukritinaha, even people who have got such a bhakti are very good people. This is where our normal understanding and life of a person happens, religious person. Beyond that, only few people who are curious comes to spirituality. How do they come? Typically, they come to spirituality by what? Typically, you have got a lot of thrashing in the life at some point of time. It can be either through some health issues or some family issues or financial issues, various things, some battering, which I call it as a midlife crisis, where we do not know what to do. And somebody in the neighborhood says there is some Gita class which is giving you a peace of mind. Go and attend. And most of such classes all over the world is free. So this person comes and attends the class and he says, no, I'm getting some peace. And from there, what typically happens is many people start joining the class. And by the time they come to the second chapter where it is quite technical, and 50% drop off. And only few people have got the ability to continue and they enjoy it further. And they stray throughout the curriculum. And a typical curriculum, 1 hour a week, will cost you something like 5 to 6 years. And when you go through this process, then people understand what is the roadmap and how to achieve it. Achieve what? To understand who am I. I am the Atma. Not only understand, I need to receive the knowledge and I need to retain the knowledge. I need to assimilate the knowledge and finally I need to enjoy what I have learned. Otherwise, there is no point. That is called Jivan Mukti. So I go through this journey which Krishna beautifully gives a roadmap. What is a roadmap? You have to prepare your mind first. Before asking who am I, or before understanding that I am the Atma, not the body-mind complex, Krishna clearly says that you have to understand and you have to prepare the mind. See, without the preparation, you cannot achieve it. For example, if you have to climb Mount Everest, you have to have lots of preparation. Your body has to be prepared. You have to acclimatize yourself and go up to the base camp, stay there for some time, and again go up. That's how it is done. If you have to run a marathon, then you have to prepare yourself for 1 year, 2 year training because you have to run about 40, 50 kilometers. It is not easy. So you have to prepare yourself. So any journey, any long journey, it involves a significant preparation. If you want to go for a holiday, say for example, I want to go around Europe or US somewhere, then for a 3-week tour, you require a lot of preparation. So anything requires preparation. Similarly, Vedanta says that you need to prepare yourself. So what is that preparation? That preparation is nothing but there are 2 parts to it. First one is Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga, which is called Jnana Yogyata. You have to go through, you have to become a Karma Yogi and you have to become a Upasana Yogi and then you have to get the qualifications. What is the qualifications you should get? And Shastra says you have to have a 4-fold qualification. The qualification is all about intellectual. It is not about the body, race, mind, gender, nothing. It is not about gender, caste, creed, nothing. As long as you are a human being, you require some mental qualifications. That qualifications can be attained through Karma Upasana Yoga. That is called Jnana Yogyata. And then you go to Jnana Yoga, where you systematically get to understand by studying the scriptures like Upanishads, and you will be able to, as I told you, receive, retain, assimilate, and enjoy this knowledge by continuous, lengthy period of time, continuously under the guidance of a competent acharya. If you are able to do that, you will be able to assimilate this knowledge. So the roadmap is preparation first, which is Jnana Yogyata, and then second part is Jnanam. This is what is typically the roadmap. And in the preparation, Karma Uposana Yoga will give you the mental qualifications. What is the qualification? And Shastra says Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi. SCS, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi. Fourfold qualifications. What are the fourfold qualification? Briefly put it, Vivekam, Vairagyam, Mumukshutvam, Samadhi Shatka Sampattihi. In English, discrimination, dispassion, desire, discipline. 4 Ds. So Vivekaha, the Vivekaha consists of 2 parts. One is what is dharma, adharma, what is ethical, non-ethical. First we need to have that understanding. Then second one is what is nityam, what is anityam, what is permanent, what is impermanent. That clarification we should have. And Shastra says, except Atman, the consciousness, everything else in this world is anityam. Everything will go away. Everything will perish. Everything will modify, change, including this body mind. So this is Viveka. Once you have this Viveka, then you should develop the Vairagyam. Vairagyam means it is not hatred. Vairagyam means it is the dispassion. That means you must have a mental detachment, an emotional disconnect, not physical disconnect. Emotional disconnect towards the world. The world is nothing but situations, objects, and people. And you should have an emotional disconnect with the world very clearly. And there are techniques. That technique is all is talk about is called Karma Yoga. So you should be able to be a Karma Yogi, not a Karmi. You should be a Karma Yogi. Thereby you will be able to improve your discrimination and dispassion, Vivekam and Vairagyam. Otherwise you will be sucked into the world. So what is Karma Yoga? Then briefly put it, Bhagavan says very elaborately in Gita, briefly put it, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu katachana. You do anything with the Lord as a Ishvara Arpana Bhava. Connect with the Lord all the time. Stay with the Lord all the time. Connect with the Lord all the time. Anything you do, always dedicate it to the Lord. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasiyate, yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Then he says how to receive the results of the actions. Take it everything as the Ishvara Prasada. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Have an equanimous mind. This is called Karma Yoga. Dedicate everything to the Lord, connect with the Lord, and take everything as a prasada of the Lord and be a contributor. Contributor means what? Always you must give more and take less. And Shastra says Panchamaha Yajna, 5-fold contribution. Deva Yajnam, pujas, Pitra Yajnam, forefathers rituals, the Rishi Yajnam or Brahma Yajnam, studying scriptures, Manusha Yajnam, all human services, Bhuta Yajnam, all cattle and environmental protection services. So be a contributor, do Panchamaha Yajna, Ishvara Arpanam, Prasada Buddhi, Karma Yoga. What it will give you? It will sharpen your Viveka and you will develop Vairagyam. This is the preparatory disciplines. And then he says the next step is go to Upasana Yoga. What is Upasana Yoga? That means have a concentrated understanding. Meditate upon the Lord. The Lord with the name and form. We call it as a Saguna Ishvara. Whichever Devata you like, Ishta Devata. And then you meditate upon that. And there are techniques by which you can do the meditation. That way you are able to develop concentration and connection with the Lord. And also, the Lord is not only in one altar, only one Ishta Devata. The Lord only is manifesting as the entire universe. So initially you have got the meditation upon the Ishta Devata called Ekarupa Upasana. And then you go to Anekarupa Upasana. Aneka Rupa Upasana means look at the entire universe as the Lord. Vishwam Vishnu Ashatkara hai. Eko Vishnu Mahadbhutam. So entire universe is Lord. Start visualizing that way. Bhagavan says, Yadyad Vibhuti Vatsatvam Shrimatur Jitameva Va. Gita, he says very clearly. So once you expand your mind, your Karma Yoga becomes very simple and your concentration comes. Thereby you are able to get the Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. What is Samadhi Shatka Sampatti? There are 6 components, which is a mental preparation. Shamaha, Damaha, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. I will briefly mention what each one of them is. Shamaha means a mental channelization, mental regulation. People normally use the word control. I refuse to use that word. Mental channelization. The mind should be able to control all the emotions. You should be able to, with the discrimination, you should be able to channelize your mental energy properly, regulate it. Like you have got a river coming, and if you put a dam, you can use the water by putting into various canals. That's a mental channelization, shamaha. Then damaha, which is called sensory channelization. We have got 5 sense organs called jnanendriyas. So we have got eyes, we have got nose, we have got ear, we have got tongue, and we have got a touch. So skin. So through this, the whole world enters into our mind, and these are called jnanendriyas. Okay, Indriya, the Jnanendriyas means the organs of knowledge. So they give us you knowledge about the world, and you should be able to know what can go inside, what cannot go inside. You should be able to be a gatekeeper. You should be able to have a gatekeeper in the sense organs of the first gate, where which the whole world is entering into me. And there should be a gatekeeping process called Damaha. So sensory channelization. So Shamaha, Damaha. Then Uparama. Uparama or Uparati. The ability to withdraw whenever you want. Withdraw yourself from the world and be dedicated into the study, dedicated to the meditation, dedicated to puja. So regular withdrawal. Later, at the later part of life, complete withdrawal if you want to, for fully dedicating into the study. You should be able to switch off your worldly thoughts and then focus. That's called Uparama. Then Titiksha. Titiksha means forbearance, ability to withstand all the worldly ups and downs. Bhagavan says, Matra sparshasta kaunteya sita ushna sukha dukkada aha agamapayano nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Everything will come better you develop the titiksha. Because whatever is coming from the world, I cannot control. Because my prarabdha is coming. So Desha, Kala and Prarabdha determines my outcourse, what is coming from outside. I have got a free will and I have got the Prarabdha, which is called fate in the modern language. Our life is governed by both the free will and fate. The fate is invisible, the Prarabdha is invisible, the free will is the one which we have got. So we should be able to act because we are actually doing a shadow boxing. The enemy is unknown, like a coronavirus. But we are battling it. So we do not know what is going to affect at any point of time in life. So we should have a lot of titiksha. Then comes Shraddha. Shraddha is a big word. Shraddha means astikya buddhi. That means the Vedas is the primary scripture. And Vedas will not bluff. Vedas will not mislead us. And Veda is the valid source of knowledge. Another 6th instrument of knowledge. Like 5 sense organs, Veda is the 6th instrument of knowledge. And whatever Veda says is true. And that is given by the Guru. So I trust the Guru and I have got a complete faith on the Vedas. That is called Shraddha. Bhagavan says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. That Shraddha should be there. So Shamaha, Damaha, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha. And the last one is Samadhana. Samadhana means concentration. If you have to attend a class for 1 hour, you should have a concentration. And only when you are able to concentrate, it can be taken inside. Otherwise, mind goes all over the place. You may be looking at the teacher, but we do not know where the mind goes. Your eyes may be open, but mind can be somewhere. So terrific concentration is required, either for the Vedantic study, even for our other materialistic study also we require concentration. Today children are lacking a lot of concentration issues with so many distractions which is there. So concentration is one of the very important thing. Why? Only when you concentrate you will be able to absorb it. Then you require to retain the knowledge. Not only receive it, you have to retain it. For which you should be able to recap it. For which concentration is required. Then you have to assimilate it, which is called nididhyasana. So in the Jnana Yoga, 3 stages are there: Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. Shravanam means systematic teaching, which I receive from the Guru, the receiving part. Then Mananam means clarifications of all the doubts. That's the second part. The third one is Nididhyasana, which is assimilating it. As Swami Chibbhavananda says, the eaten food will not be nourishing you, which is the digested food only will nourish you. So you require to assimilate it. So for which, again, you require concentration. So samadhana. So samadhi shatka sampatti is shamaha, which is the mind channelization, damaha, indriyam channelization, which is the sensory channelization, jnanendriyas channelization, shamaha, damaha, uparama, ability to withdraw, titiksha, forbearance, shraddha, which is the faith in the scriptures and guru, and samadhana, concentration. This is called samadhi shatka sampatti. And you will be able to have all these qualifications. And the last one is mumukshutvam. That means a serious desire for getting liberated. Moksha means what? Getting liberated from this repeated cycle of birth and death. To give up this birth and death. Because punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayane. Ega samsare bahudustare. Acharya says in Bhajagovindam. So this whole samsara is transmigration, going round. Our Swamiji used to say it is not a merry-go-round, it is a sorry-go-round, which you do not know. And keep on going on. We have got zillions of births. How many more births we are going to take, we do not know. And every birth and death is a challenge. And during the time we live, tension or tension. So it is all challenges and trouble. So mumukshutvam is breaking the cycle of samsara, for which you require an intense desire to get the knowledge, moksha. So moksha means what? Liberation, in a general light put it. And moksha is here and now. It is not after death somewhere going to Vaikuntha or Shivaloka. Moksha is here and now. That is what our Advaita Siddhanta says very clearly. So when you want to have the moksha, what is mean? Otherwise called Jivan Muktihi. Here and now you can enjoy that life. So moksha is having a complete mental freedom, emotional independence. Dukkeshu anuvignamanaha sukeshu vikatasprigaha vitaraha bhayakrodaha sithadi muni uchyate. Yes sarvatra anabhisneha tattat prabhya shubhashubham. Prajahati yadakaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanye atmana tushtaha. Yasvatma radireva syat atmatriptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. So many shlokas are there in Bhagavad Gita describing the state of the mind of a jnani. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karunayeva cha, etc. So moksha is a state in which I am completely enjoying an emotional freedom. I call it as a PSS. Purnatvam, complete fulfillment. Swatantram, independence. And samatvam, equanimity towards everything in the world. Even whatever comes to his body, mind also, I don't care. Body, anything will come. So I don't care at all. Pasyan, Shrinnan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Shwan, Jigran, Swapashwasan, Palaban, Vishyan, Ginman, Umishan, Ulmination Nabi. So anything will happen, I am always in the state of bliss. This is called moksha. So moksha can be got only by knowledge. Nanya pantha ayanaya vidyate, Purusha Suktam. And knowledge can be got only by the approaching the Guru, and for which you should have a prepared mind, an intellect, a buddhi, which is a qualification. If you want to go and do an MBA, you should require a basic degree qualification. If you want a degree, you require a high school certificate. Everywhere qualification is required. So moksha is possible only by knowledge. Knowledge is possible only by the intellect, where it has to receive, retain, assimilate, and enjoy the knowledge. And that is possible only in a prepared mind with the qualification of sadhana chatushtayam, which is required. And only when the sadhana chatushtayam is there, you will be able to get it. For the sadhana chatushtayam, you require the good body and mind. You require a sound mind and a sound body. Mind and body are completely interconnected. You require a good body and a good mind. Both are absolutely important. You have got a mind, we don't have a good body. You have got a body which has got a lot of pain. You have got a body with a lot of pain. You are not able to sit in the class. Will you be able to get the concentration, samadhana? Impossible. Your eyes are not able to see. You are not able to hear. Very, very difficult. So, if you want to study the scriptures, you require a sound body. In Tamil, we say, Suvarai irundal Sittaram. Only when the wall is there, you can paint it. Like this, the body is like a wall where you can paint it. So, you require a strong body, which is working body, which is sharp. Only when the body is sound, the mind can be at peace. Otherwise, what will happen? Whenever there's an ache, always I have got a pain, I'm not able to concentrate, I have got a headache. Today, you will not see even a single person above 50 without a problem. Very rare to see a person not taking a medicine above 50. We have come to that level of poor health. So, the qualifications for the study is sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. And without sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, moksha is impossible. Acharya says, Shankaracharya says in one of the Prakarana Granthas called Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi Yasyasti Dhimata Pumsaha Tasyevai Tatpala Samsiddhihi Nanyasya Kinchidu Nasya Chatvari Sadhanan Yatra Vadanti Paramarshaya Muktir Yesham tu Sadbhave Nabhave Siddhyati Dhruvam. So you require sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the fourfold qualification, vivekam, vairagyam, mumukshutvam, samadhi shatka sampattihi, the 4 Ds, without which you will not be able to get the knowledge. Without the knowledge, you will not be able to liberate yourself. And elsewhere, Grantha says, if you have got the sadhana chatushtayam, the fourfold qualification, even if you are not able to get the knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Atma, you will be able to live at peace largely. Krishna says, Shanti Mapnoti Naishtikim. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 5th chapter, and he says very clearly, what he is saying is, a person, na yukta karma palam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikim. So if you are living a life of karma yoga, you will be getting a peace of mind. In other place, he says, if you follow karma yoga, all the fear will go away. Nehavi kramanashosti pratyavayona vidyate swalpamabhyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. You will be able to remove all the fear. So, sadhana chatushtayam is very, very important. And for which you require a sound body. So now let us look at it. Where all the Vedas or in the scriptures, it talks about the proper health. We should understand it. Let us come to that point now. Now, in the Shanti Pada, Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Deva, Bhadram Pakshe Maksha Viryajatra, Sirairangai Sushtuva Gumsastadubihi, Sirairangai Tanubihi Tushtuvam Sirairangehi tanubihi tushtuvam Sirairangehi, which have good limbs, good health. Tanubihi, through the Vedas, let me glorify you. Who? The Lord. Let me glorify the Lord with a good health, Through the Vedas, let me glorify the Lord. Shanti Pata. Bhadram Karnebihi, let my ears be good. Let it listen to all the good things. Bhadram Pakshyema. So, Vedas very clearly talk about the health. And come to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says very clearly, for a person who does not have a proper sleep or who has excessive sleep, a person who is eating more or a person who is not eating at all, for him this knowledge cannot be assimilated at all. Very clearly. नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जागृतो नैव चार्जुन. And then in the subsequent shloka he says, this comes in the 6th chapter by the way, for a person who is having moderation in eating, sleeping, work, recreation, only for that person the knowledge is possible. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So very clearly says. So we have got a Shruti Pramanam, you have got the Smriti Pramanam. Means what? All these things are glorifying. We require the very healthy body for getting the knowledge. And Chandogya Upanishad says, the food we take has got three components. One is the food which we take, one is goes as a waste. And the second, all the nutrients get assimilated into the bloodstream and gives us the physical health, nourishment. And the third component is it will sharpen your intellect. Very specifically given in the Upanishad. So what you eat and how you eat, how much you eat, when to eat, everything determines one of the components which predominantly determines our physical and mental health. There's a Gita called Hamsa Gita which comes in Bhagavatam, which talks about 10 things which will influence a person's mind, of which food is one of them. So physical health is extremely important. Then only we will be able to get the qualifications, sadhana chatushtayam, the 4 Ds. Only then we will be able to sit in the class and understand what the teacher says. I will be able to do the Shravanam. Aham Brahmasmi, knowledge will come, and that knowledge will be able to be retained or assimilated and enjoying the life. So the Shastra's roadmap is very clear. You should have a good physical body. From the good physical body, you should be able to have the required qualifications, sadhana charushtayam, and then you should go to Jnana Yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, and then you should be able to enjoy a beautiful life called Jivan Mukti. Of course, Shastra says after this body is gone, then you are no more born again, you are merged with totality. That's called Videha Mukti. That means you are breaking the cycle of samsara. Now, let us focus on the physical health. Because nowadays there's a big fad about the physical health. And there are various things are being talked about it. Lot of things are talked about the diet. Lot of things about the physical exercises. Lot of things on yoga, which is a big name now. And lot of people have got a physical trainer getting the body muscle up, so many things. So that there are various things which is focusing. If you take Singapore's newspaper every day, the population is aging. Even today there was a news. And world over, wherever there's a people who are eating well and where there's a standard of living high, people are living for longer. And lifestyle diseases are more. And there's a lot of focus on what to eat, what not to eat, how to manage the diabetes, how to manage the blood pressure, heart diseases, cancer. So these are all common things which is affecting the society today. There's lots and lots of things are there. And typically our study to Gita or scripture starts typically at the middle life. And by that time, I am already having a lot of lifestyle diseases. And on the one hand, I want to pursue. On the other hand, I am not able to do it because my health is not allowing me to do this. So there's a huge conflict taking place. I see so many people having that issues, including myself. I had lots of issues. My mother was so concerned about my obesity. My brother is a doctor. And my mother used to tell my brother to advise me, why can't you ask him to reduce the weight? And I say, I'm doing it, this thing, that thing, but nothing much coming down. I sincerely tried a few times. I went to a dietitian. She prescribed something which I later discovered is very dangerous. I reduced 15 kilos. Again went back. Not able to sustain. So there's, on the one hand, there is a sincerity. On the one hand, there's a desire. On the other hand, do not know how to go about it. And failed many times miserably. So there's no lack of will, but there's a lack of direction. There's a lack of person who is able to give you the right direction, right recipe, and guide you through. That was missing. So Lord Krishna probably felt, okay, this guy is doing something, so we should send you some health guru to him. That's how I consider this. So 1 year before, one Sri Lalit Kapoor from the US landed in my life. And he went through a lot of challenges. He himself articulates how he has gone through the transformation, how he has studied. And he is from India, an IIT graduate, and went to US, masters, and then did very successfully, put up IT companies, sold it, retired. Now he's about 72 or 73 years old. And he had lots of lifestyle diseases. He said, I went through, my life got transformed some 10 years ago, and he has started spreading the whole story, how to go about it. Because in the market today, there are lots of people and lots of commercial and lots of interest involved by various groups, by the food process manufacturers, by the pharmaceutical companies. Various things are there. We do not know whom to believe, whom not to believe. And everybody has got a commercial interest. So today there's a lot of confusion in the system. There are a lot of people who want to take care of their health, but not able to because of confusions. And fortunately, I had this guru who came to my life, and he prescribed a set of things, and he says as a 5 pillars. And then if you follow this, you will be able to reverse the entire diseases, all diseases in your life. In a matter of time, maybe 6 months to 8 months, you can be lifestyle diseases free. Not only your congenital problems will not go away. If you have got a deafness at the beginning, it will be there. If you have got eye problem from the beginning, it will be there. If you do not have the insulin as a type A diabetes, that will be there. But whatever the lifestyle diseases which you have acquired in the midlife, like diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, cancer, whatever it is, all these things can be reversed. And there are so many case studies. Initially, I was stunned. Is it possible? Then he puts you through the menu, a program. It's a self-program. It is absolutely free again. No commercial interest at all. It is all what he learned, and he is sharing globally. He is so emotional, and he wants to change the world towards this, make it healthy. And he is spreading it and taking it as a mission in the last 3-4 years and doing it across, all for free. Because always people think anything free is cheap. But anything free is the most costly one. Our Vedanta class, all over the world, many people are giving it free. There's no attendance, there's no fees, there's no entrance examination, and there's no final examination. But that is the ultimate knowledge. Guhyatamam, Rahasyam, Bhagavan says in Gita. Similarly, this health message, which he is doing it, which is absolutely free, it is the rarest of the things which is working. And whenever I was studying Gita, I was always had this conflict in the last 10 years, serious study in the last 10 years. On the one hand, I say Shamaha, Damaha, Indriya Nigraham, Mano Nigraham. On the other hand, when I go, I see a sweet, I end up taking it because my craving for it is there. And Bhagavan says, Vidyena Miha Vairinam. And I'm taking it. And Bhagavan says elsewhere, Eisham Sparsja Bhogaha Dukka Yone Evate Adyanta Vanta Kaunteya Nateshu Ramate Buddha. An intelligent person will not go towards the world which is always having dangers. Anything which has got a beginning and end has got a problem. An intelligent person will be very cautious. And I have been teaching this to everyone. I felt very ashamed about it myself. What is this going on in my mind? Because every Vedantic student, a serious seeker of liberation, we call it as a Tivra Mumukshu, should always analyze. The teacher can give the knowledge. Then you should do a self-analysis and then see where all my weaknesses towards sadhana charushte sampatti. Is viveka lacking or vairagyam lacking, shamaha lacking, damaha lacking? I need to have a roadmap. Krishna gives a beautiful roadmap in the 17th, 18th chapter. Everything in very good, medium, zero. Like this, he is putting a table. Satvigam, Rajasam, Tamasam. And you should be able to do this. So when I analyze myself, I felt I am ashamed. I am feeling guilty. I am not worthy of doing this. In fact, in one class, after the class, they used to give some prasad. And one sweet is kept. And with your craving, you won't take it. Because I got diabetes at the age of about 5 years ago. Because it runs in both the sides of the families. Fortunately, I did not go into the insulin level. That is good. Taking few medicines. But one student asked, why are you taking sweet when you say you are diabetic? I had no answer at all. I felt ashamed about it. Still, I remember. I met that lady 2 months ago. After this lockdown is over, I reminded the same story to her. You asked me the other day. Now I am injury free. Now I am diabetic free. I am able to control myself, my tongue. And I am able to manage it. I proudly told her. She said, you are so slim. You are nice. I said, yes. All Lord Krishna is teaching me. Because studying Vedanta is one side. On the other side, you have to analyze your life and see where your weakness is. Everyone has got some weakness or other or multiple weaknesses. And one of the fundamental weakness of a human being is the craving for food, which is predominantly there. I'm not saying everybody, but majority of the people have got a craving for food, one or other. Some people have got a craving for meat. They cannot give up meat. One person asked in our class, sir, I'm an occasional drinker. Can I drink once in a while? Because Shastra says, Thiruvalluvar says, Kallunamai, you should not drink. Pulal Marithal, Thiruvalluvar says, refuse the meat. And Shastra says that is not required. That should not be. You cannot kill an animal and eat. Somebody is asking, sir, once in a while if I eat, is it okay? What can I say? It is like asking, like you've got a beautiful vessel with a first class kheer. And then you say it's very good. Only thing is there's a drop of poison inside because some insect or something went inside. That's why some poison it seems. Will you be able to take it? It is like that. So you ponder over yourself. The food craving is the worst craving you have got, which is predominantly there for everyone. My grandfather, my father's father was in a deathbed. He was in a coma. He was 80 plus and he was about to die. My father predicted it, saying that he's going to die in a matter of maybe a day or two. And on the day when he died, on that morning, because he was a diabetic person earlier, he was in coma. My mother gave a boost or some drink with a lot of sugar and he tried to put it in the mouth. In that coma stage, the moment he started tasting it, that with the taste, he gulped it fully, the full glass of that boost with the sugar. Because the taste buds never go away till the last moment it carried. That is why the food industry is so big. The food processing industry is so big. The restaurants are so big. Today we have stopped eating at home. We have become worldwide. We have all started eating outside, which is extremely harmful, dangerous, because a lot of places reprocessed oil itself is bad, and on the top of it, so many processed food, extremely harmful. So when you look at all those things, when I look at myself and then started looking at it, I said, I need to do something about it. So how do I get it? So I wanted to work on it. I was lacking the direction. I was lacking the clarity, lacking the sincerity. And on the other hand, my endocrinologist says he started from one medicine, second medicine, and third medicine. And he said, once you reduce 5 kilos, you will go, your diabetes will go away. I reduced 5 kilos, went and asked him, where is it going? He didn't have the answer. It doesn't go because modern treatments are all flawed. They are they are treating only the symptoms, not the root causes. With the guidance, I have studied about 3 books in detail, which is written by medical doctors, and 3 more books he has suggested, and I am going through them. So you understand how to go about it properly. So once you are able to get the direction, then you better work on it. Now you have got the direction. Now there's no lame excuses. So I have to talk to myself. Hey, here is the time that somebody is coming, because I was introduced to Lalit Kapoor by another friend. I called him casually last September. Then he told me the whole story for 2 hours in a call. And he said, hey, I did this. It is working. Why don't you try? He's a good friend of me for the last 20 years. Then I said, let me give a try now. Then he started making miracles. And the last 6 months, all the diseases vanished. No hypertension, no diabetes, no acid reflux, no joint pains. Able to fast, able to eat very good food. My stomach is able to eat fully, but proper food, removing certain things. It is fantastic. And because the health is good, everybody is saying your face is glowing. You feel far more energetic than what you used to be. What is this? I'm able to climb stairs. Now I'm in consulting. I go up the plant, 7 floors, 8 floors, comfortably able to go up and come down without any panting. So one has to ponder over it, because this is the most toughest things to live. Because among the sensual cravings, the food eating is the maximum. When I started sharing this among my families and some of my some of our friends and other social network, there are some people who have started following it up. And one gentleman said, I'm already 70. I may live for another 10 years. He is heavy diabetic, by the way. I don't mind dying. And he is also attending Vedanta classes. That means, on the one hand, we study. On the other hand, we do not have a sensory restraint. This is the biggest weakness for a Vedantin. On the one hand, we study Vedanta for 20, 30 years. On the other hand, I don't have Shamaha, Damaha, basic. And second thing is, without this body mind, I cannot study also. So there are 2 things. One is, by your not having control over food craving, you are clearly lacking the sensory restraint or sensory channelization and mind channelization. You are overpowered by the emotions than the intellect. Your viveka is pledged. You don't have viveka, discrimination. It is overpowered by the emotions. That's the biggest weakness. And Shastra very clearly says, then moksha is impossible for you. On the other hand, when your body is not well, then what happens? Then you are not able to even study. You are bedridden. There are people with so much, chokes and then stent, everything. People with the cancer. Today, everything is rampant. Today, there are what do you call it? Mental disorientation like Alzheimer, dementia. Why? Because the food what we are eating is very bad. So, in summary, the food we eat not only improves our mental hygiene, also improve our physical health. Holistically speaking, 80% or 90% of our health is based on the food what we eat and what we avoid. Remaining 10-20% is all other things like exercises, yoga, cycling, running, walking, swimming, whatever it is, all remaining 10-20%. One of my friend's mother, who is also attending our classes, she is about 86 plus, heavily insulin dependent. She went through the program, completely eliminated the insulin at all. Now we are taking only a small medicine. Without exercise, she is able to recover. One person, fourth stage cancer, go through this and then eliminate it completely cancer free. So, what is the latest things which is coming up, which is slowly gaining momentum? Maybe in the next 10-20 years, it will become the way of life. Today, it is not even part of the MBBS curriculum. Even nutrition is not part of the curriculum anywhere in the world for doctors. So, they know only as much as you and I know, with a little bit maybe here and there. But otherwise, nutrition is never a course in the MBBS. I checked up with half a dozen doctors across the continents. So, overall, put it, what you eat, what you should not eat. Let me briefly tell you, avoid all the non vegetarian, including egg. You don't need them. Okay, for a person who is in the Vedanta, all the more it is not acceptable. That is first part. And second positive, avoid all the processed food, including direct sugar. Third one is reduce the or eliminate oil as much as possible during the reversal stage. Then you can add 1 or 2 teaspoons of ghee or mustard oil later. And then avoid all the dairy products. They are harmful. They will produce cancer. There have been researches going on, produced. Then what should I eat? Simply says, you take whole grains 25% and pulses and other things 25%, legumes 25%, fruits 25%, vegetables. 1% of your body weight should be vegetable, 1% of your body weight should be fruits. Take all the fruits and various vegetables in rotations, all of them. Take all the grains in rotation, all the pulses in rotation. Lot of nutrition is there. That's what he teaches me. And you go around in taking it, and you can fill up the stomach. And there have been lots of cooking recipes available in the YouTube without oil, with a moderate and everything. There is one outfit in Bangalore, which is this program is called Plant-Based Whole Food Program. Plant-Based Whole Food Program. There's an outfit in Bangalore which is available, sampurnaahara.com. They are producing variety of snacks and sweets and meal. They give it in Bangalore. They can ship the snacks and sweets to all over the world. You can ship it also. So today it is gaining momentum. So if you are able to do it, then you will be able to reverse all the lifestyle diseases. Then how to motivate myself to do this? This is the last part. How to motivate myself? The first thing is positive motivation. That is, I look at for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Because studies have shown, they call it a blue zone study, where there are some pockets of the world, they have done it, how they follow. And the study was done some 20 years ago. And that says people can comfortably live at the age of 100, 105, and then next day, normally they die without any problem. Previous day, they will be okay. Next day, they will be lying very naturally. Without going to the doctor, you can be having a very healthy life. There's a place called Blue Zones. You can go and do the internet. So positive visualization that I'm going to live like this. I'm going to enjoy the life. Whatever the studies I have done, Jivan Mukti, he means I need to enjoy the life. So I can do that. It's a positive way of doing it. The negative way of doing it, which is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. That means think of yourself with all the ventilators, tubes, and being in the bed, paralyzed from the neck down, and then being in the bed with all those tubes and everything, with all the bed sores, and everybody coming and feeling when this guy is going to go, then that is the negative thread of it. Many people have got a problem. After 70, 80, they don't have a quality of life at all. So you motivate yourself. Of course, for Vedantin, they should motivate. If I got a sadhana church time only, I will get liberated. And for sadhana choshtayam, this body is required. And one of the sadhana choshtayam is, I need to have a damaha, shamaha, viveka, vairagya. So once you are able to motivate, you will be able to do that. So in summary, there's a strong link between the physical health and moksha in two ways. One is physical health is required for study of scriptures and assimilation and retention and enjoying the life. Second one is only when there is a qualification of sadhana choshtayam, which can be coming only when by demonstrating our restraint, our channelization, our ability to avoid certain things and channelize ourselves in the food craving, then only we will be able to achieve and get the moksha. So with this, let me again emphasize, for those who are interested to know further about it, you may contact me. My telephone number is +65 9455 1063. Repeat, +65 9455 1063. You can contact me for further details on this health aspect. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mayi Mayisha Gobrahmanebhyo शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।